Hi everyone, I'm Leslie Omaña Begert, co-founder of FabuLingua, and we are here at TechCrunch Disrupt. So I wanted to give an analogy to help everybody understand the importance of comprehensible input in the science of second language acquisition and how comprehensible input is really the key to learning a new language. And the analogy that we've been using here at TechCrunch Disrupt is that of machine learning. A lot of people here know about machine learning. And in machine learning, it's very well understood that the machine learns only in one way, and that is through input to the machine. The machine learns, and then it generates output. The output it generates is a consequence of the learning. But if you ask the machine to generate more and more output, it will not learn any more. The only way it learns is through input. And there are two kinds of input, two important aspects of input: the amount of input, hence big data that we all know about and have heard about, and the quality of the input. We also heard the expression garbage in, garbage out. That's bad quality input. And so the analogy here is to our brains. Our brains are machines for language learning. They're uniquely designed for that. And the science of second language acquisition has shown that similarly to machine learning, the only thing that makes a difference in learning a language is the input. A lot of input is very important, but it's got to be a certain quality input. And that quality is it's got to be comprehensible input, which means that roughly speaking, you understand what is being communicated. And the other aspect of the quality is that it must be compelling to the learner. So going back to traditional language learning and how it's being taught, typically we tend in traditional language learning to focus on output because we're a kind of society who wants results, or keep on being focused on the output. And they think that if they demand more output from language learners, these people will learn more. And so they are demanding output in the form of memorization, learning grammar rules, testing, and that in actual fact doesn't make the learner learn more. This is what the language learning science has shown, that the only thing that makes the language learn more is exposure to comprehensible input that is compelling. And exposure to, the more you're exposed to it, the more you're going to learn. It's a linear relationship. And so one of the things that's interesting is that traditional language learning software has just mimicked what has been done in traditional language learning circles, which is focusing on the output and digitizing output-oriented learning and flashcard-based sort of learning, memorization of vocabulary lists in a fun way, but it really is still just focusing on the output kind of learning, and it's not really addressing what needs to be addressed, which is quality, comprehensible input. FabuLingua is the first platform out there that delivers comprehensible input specifically designed to be compelling to children as a way of teaching languages. And so we help teachers, help children learn a second language through comprehensible input. Language teachers know this science. They've known it for about 30 years. And they have a choice. Do they teach the traditional way that they know doesn't work and the science has shown doesn't work? Or do they teach through comprehensible input? Teaching the traditional way is easier. You kind of give people a vocab list and tell them you're testing them on Monday. But the comprehensible input teaching actually works better. The science has shown it. But it does place a bigger burden on the teacher. She has to show up in class ready to be an actress and be on and, do a lot of excitable, interesting gestures. Mi suéter es negro. Mis pantalones también son negros. Mis zapatos no son negros. And so she's always got to be on. You run out of stuff to point at in class, and then you have to go home, find props, scour the internet, find images to point at the next day. It's a lot of work for teachers who are already very overworked. So that's why when FabuLingua comes along with a platform of comprehensible input, teachers are just like, hooray, finally somebody gets me, they understand me, and they're giving me all of this content so that I don't have to work so hard, and I know the results are going to be good because it's based on comprehensible input.